Alright guys, let's move on to more things on the mouse. At this time, uh, let's first fix what's happening when I open the mouse. Apparently the teeth does not follow correctly. Let's grab the teeth and find its parent. Rotate it down and go to key, set driven key set, and then the group of the teeth will be the driven one. The controller will be the driver. Let's use translation Y to drive the rotation. Here will be rotation X. So let's key it. Alright. And then let's zero out the controller and also zero out the rotation X and key it one more time. That will move it down like this. Now, there's one other thing I want to fix here though is when you drag it, you see the teeth is going fast at the beginning and slower then. That's because of the animation curve we're having here, which is all curved. Let's make it flat. Alright. Now that's fixed that problem. Let's do the same thing for the tongue. It's a little bit more complicated. For the tongue, you need to find the tongue controller because it's already being controlled. Let's name this one offset, blend shape offset. And also we need to find the joint of the tongue too, which is this one. So let's also group this one and call this one blend shape offset. Now grab those two blend shape offset group. Let's holding down D and V to move their pivot to the jaw joint, and then let's just rotate those two down. You see now I can rotate the entire tongue, and then load those two as the driver, the driven ones, and use rotation Z as the driven attribute. Key them here. Let's go back, grab the controller and move it back to 0, and then grab those two controller and zero that out too. And then let's key it here. I also need to fix the animation curve of the tongue. It's in the animation graph or graph editor. Let's go grab the set driven keys as those two so it's easier to select, and then let's also make those two flat. Great. Now let's go and find the head rig and then head the joint here to finish that. Now let's do some corrective shapes. First I want to fix probably this one. It's too flat and it's too sharp on the edge of the lip. So let's go to the shape editor and create that shape. Now here I have to apologize to Dominic because he actually was trying to tell me the right way or the easiest way to do it instead of using the expression editor, which is you just need to select those two blend shapes and then add the combination target. Now this new target will be on when those two are on. Alright, so I don't need to do the expression at all. It's that simple. There's always new things coming out. I'm pretty sure this is the new thing in Maya 2017, so sorry about that. So let's do rename this one mouse close and widen corrective. For this shape, what I need to do is go to edge mode and then scale them up. And just to even out, to make it lesser flattened, One more thing I can do is grab those vertex and drag them down and forward, and just to give it more volume or more curvature here. Alright, let's do the same thing for the lower lip. And probably some of the shapes here that I want to make them smoother. Alright, so now that will almost will be already set it up. So when I drag those up, the blend shape or the corrective shape will be automatically initiated, which makes things so much easier, right? You don't have to write all the expressions or do any node editor based editing anyway. They will be automatically taken care of right here. If you look at what's happening in the node editor, you will see that it's actually just, let's select the facial expression and then see the connections here, and you will see that the facial expression uses something called the combination shape node, which read the two inputs from the two weights from the two blend shape. We need to combine together those two, close and widen, read those two blend shapes weight, and then use the result, combine those two together, and use the result to control its corrective shape. Here, see the connection here? It's from here, output goes to there. So it's just one node here that takes care of everything. Alright. It works exactly like our expression editor. Let's move it to the other side here, and then this one I need to grab the mouse close shape and then mouse narrow shape. Okay, and then let's add a new combination target. This one will be the close, mouse, close, narrow, corrective shape. And let's use the sculpt deformer or sculpt brush to fix what's happening here. I want to have it bigger, so let's use grab to make it bigger here. And then also fix some of the shapes here. I think it's having too much volume here, so I'm gonna grab it a little bit, maybe have some shape here and down there too. Let's give it more volume. All right. Oh, one more thing I want to do though is I want to also make the close looks better. So let's go grab the slider and grab the translation X back to 0 and start sculpting again. This time all I have to do is using the volume fall off and then drag the middle part up using the grab brush. Oh, sorry, not there. It's actually I want to add it this one. All right. Just slightly curving up. Alright, let's go back to here. Then let me smooth out the weird stuff happening here because of what I did on the clothes already. Let's also go back to the widen one, see if this one looks okay, which is this corrective shape. I think it's doing okay actually. Doesn't really need me to do so much changes here. Alright. So that is the other corrective shape. Let's moving down to the mouth open, and then this time it's gonna be the combination of open and widen, those two, and I need another combination target. This new combination target will be called mouth open widen corrective. Why am I keep typing this wrong? So corrective shape here, I need to use sculpting 2 one more time, and for this one I just need to smooth it here first and then tweak the shape here. I think the shape here is decent. Maybe don't make it go open that much. It just looks weird to me. Fix some of that, and I guess it's okay now. Don't really care what's happening. Don't really care if there are some really realistic things I have to do here. I'm just trying to make it nice and smooth. Let me even out what's happening there. Alright. Let me go and delete those stupid create color sets. See, that's why I always trying to keep with the new version of Maya, even though those things are annoying, but you know, this combination shape is just so cool, you know, because before that, probably the expression way I showed you in class is the easiest way. So the newest version, even they have those design flaws and unstable stuff, but still they give you so much more convenient things to work with, which in my opinion is very valuable. They may not affect how your things looks like. I mean, the shape you're getting here will be determining how your result will looks like, but they actually changes your efficiency a lot. So stick with the newest version if you can. I don't really like someone keeps saying that, you know, older version is more stable. They are not. And also they will become more and more unstable later on when the computer gets more performance, and when the standard changes, the older version will become very unstable, like Maya 1.0 if you think about it. Anyways, so that's that. Let's delete those 2 nodes. Alright. So now I have, oh, I have snapping there. The next opening, close, narrow, and that one I guess is okay. So let's move on to some emotional stuff. Let's go to Delo tools and create a new slider. I need to run the Delo tool code. Actually I lost it, so I need to go and find it. All right, let's run this. And then I can create a new slider. Let's name this one left mouse emo or emotion. Okay. Let's go use the full limit here. And then let's use this one to control some blend shapes. Let's create a new target. This one will be the mouse. Smile. For the smile one, let's just use the sculpting tool and make her smile. So let's just use the grab and grab the corner up. And when you smile, you're also making your lip thinner. And also make sure you drag the tissues here up too. Let me drag that. Alright, and then because of the pushing, you may want to make the volume here going forward a little bit around the corner. Oh. Alright, she seems really happy. Okay, so that's the smile. Right click on it and rebuild the target. Apparently this rebuild target is okay, and that one still have the stupid create color side on it. I don't know how that happens. Again, just something really stupid. Now let's break this into left and right using the blend taper. The blend taper will have the base geometry as the base shape and then build the division plane. And the blending should be smooth enough, so that's why I keep the distance, keep the two division planes far away. Now I have two shapes to work with. Grab those two and then right click on the facial expressions and add selection as target. I have two sides, the left and the right. That's why I duplicate the right side for the left side, the right side for the left side. Normally you can try to rename it using the Delo tool. Change that to right mouse emo. Okay, but sometimes it just doesn't work. That's why I really don't think it's needed. And anyways, they're actually very easy to see what they're doing, so I don't really care the naming there. So let me just keep it this way. So set active here, and this one will be controlling the right side. So let's go to the facial expressions and find the right side and use positive Y here. And the other one will be controlling the let's see, this one would be also negative Y, positive Y here. Let's zero out this overall blend shape, and let's try the left and the right side. You see now I can have them separated like this. I can combine them together or separate them like this. Alright, so that's happy. Let's do the other direction, which is not happy. Let's call this one mouse front. For this one, let's also just use the sculpting tool to do the shape. I know it's all repetitive stuff. You probably are getting bored. I'm getting bored, honestly. But let's just finish this. Alright, so let me grab the corner down, further down, to form a, you know, very unhappy curvature. Also, you may need to drag it in a little bit, and we can use smooth to smooth the corner, of course. Still is giving me some weird shading here, so let me try to use grab to grab the surrounding out to even that out. Alright, maybe that one needs to go in. And of course, when you do that, your lip also gets thinner. Alright, I guess this is what I want. You can keep refining those if you wanted to. I guess you guys have a lot of other assignment to do, so I'm not gonna bother you too much. Just do as much as you can if you have time. Anyway, so that's the front part. The same process here. Let's rebuild the target. Of course, I need to fix the body by deleting those two stupid nodes. Alright, and then make division plane. I just drag those two in. And then let's build the shapes. Shift P to unparent and delete that original one. And now grab those two and add those into the blend shape list. And then use my controller here to control them. The going down obviously will be the negative Y direction of the slider. So set active here and then grab the facial expression blend shape. And the right one will be negative Y for the right controller. The left controller will be controlling the left one right here. Now let me zero this original one down, and then I can control it this way. Alright, now I have both happy and of course not happy. For the other two directions, we can go with the controller. Let's just duplicate what's happening from the overall controller that way, which is the widen one. Let's just go find it, which is this one. Let's just rebuild the target here and break this one into two. Still want them to be smooth. Make division plane. Oh, not division plane. It's build shapes. All right. I'll parent those two. Delete the original one. Select those two. Let's add them back. Now those two will be controlled by the controller. Also set active, and this one will be controlling the right side going -x direction. The other one, set active, is gonna control the widen shape here, positive x. All right, now I can drag them out. 0, the overall controller. Now I can drag them out to create that, and also have the happy and angry or frown kind of shape. This can be fixed by corrective shape or a combination shape target later. So let's not worry about that. But let's just make sure that they all works on their own. The last one I want to go, which is this direction, will be forming the narrow shape. Let's just rebuild this target and then make division plane on it. And then make two more shape. Unparent those two, and then use those two as new targets to control the left and right side individually. So now set active here, and this one will be let's see, the right side using the positive x. The other one will then be using this one will be using negative x. Now I can go in and happy and angry, and go out happy and angry. So now I can move the corner of the mouse to all four directions like that. Alright, let's do something here. For those two, apparently that is not okay, so let's go grab those to the left. Oh, this time actually there's, how can I do this? Oh, I can actually just zero out this one and do this one side. Let's go grab the smile and then the widen on the right side and create combination shape. Let's call it right smile, widen smile, corrective. I'm not sure if I can mirror it though. Can I? I think I can. Anyways, let's go use this sculpting tool to fix it. Use the grab tool think that the area is really too intense. I don't really want it to be too strong, but I still wanted the cheek to go up more up there. Oh, you know what? I'm doing something over there which I don't want to do. So let's go back. Alright, let's turn off the symmetry and then start sculpting it. First, oh, I'm editing it. It's probably because of that. Let's smooth this out. On the corner of the mouse. And then use grab to give it some more volume. And then drag some of the cheek up. Maybe some of the nose too, if not too much. Alright. Now every time when let's go to edit, delay node, and delay node here. Now every time when I drag the corner of the mouse up this way, it's gonna affect this part. Alright. The same thing will be applied on the other side. I think I can duplicate this. Alright, and then let's select, let's zero this out. Let's grab this one all the way up. Now you see that shape and that shape. Okay, those two. Let's right click on the duplicated one. Oh, that one. Oh, you know what? I think I cannot do that here. Maybe it's that one. Let's try that. Set as combination target. Alright. And then I think that way you select the first two to drive it, and then control select the last one to be driven, and then right click and set as combination target. That way the last one will behave like the combination target of those two. And because it's still on the other side, so I need to just flip it. So let's go grab this one and then flip target. Alright, let's fix the other side, and this one will be called the left wet and smile corrective shape. Great, now that fixes the other side. Now I can control the left and the right side individually, because sometimes I need to have like a asymmetrical shape. That's why you need this kind of combination. For the going in, it's also need to be fixed over here, right? So let me do here real quick also. That's gonna be a combination of the other two. The left mouse smile. Let's turn on the right one so we can see the left only. So that one, which is this one, smile one, and then the narrow one here. Let's add a combination target. Let's call this one right. mouse. I don't have mouse there, but let's call it narrow, happy or smile corrective. For this one, let's use the sculpting tool again. Make sure it's in edit mode. I think it's in. Let me fix the shape here. I think all I have to do is, the narrowing is always easier to fix. All I have to do is relax it, smooth it out. Don't quite like what's happening here. And there too, let me smooth that out. All right. Probably gonna drag some of the skin that way. I think I'm a little bit overdone it. Don't really need that much. Okay. Alright, so this part is done, and to make the other side work, I need to duplicate it first. Let me go zero this out. Also delete that to stupid color set. The duplicate one, which is this one, is gonna be renamed left. Narrow smile corrective. For this one, it's gonna be triggered by this controller's this direction. That's gonna trigger those two, right? So those two, left mouse smile and left mouse narrow, and then holding down Control, click on the left corrective shape for those two, right click and set as combination target. See. Alright, and then let's also flip the target to fix it. Okay, now when you're going in, the shape will be fixed. It's so much better than what's happening before, but you know, that's something you can probably do or not. So if you want to do this though, you can create a new corrective shape for this one when those two are getting closer together. Let's see. So that and that, when they're combined, maybe we can creating some corrective shape here, but let's ignore that part. One of the reasons is because that's probably not needed at all when you're doing any animation. I don't think that thing is needed. It could be possible though, but still, I don't think that's really that needed for now. Let's do the important ones. So leave that one alone for now. For this one though, you see now when I combine that and that together and going down, I do have some artifact there too. And the other direction also. So let's fix those two here. For this one, we zero out that. What I need to do is going to select the front and then the widen and create a combination target. This new combination target will be called the right mouse, or let's just call it widen front corrective. Okay, now this corrective shape will then be fixed by using sculpting 2 also. Sometimes it doesn't work for some reason. Just need to restart the sculpting 2 for some reason. Let's go to Fallout tab and change that to surface. That way I can close the mouse. Alright. And then turn the Fallout type back to volume. See, Maya is really trying to make its sculpting 2 very easy to use by implementing those Fallout type. Because of the pushing, you may want to grab some of the surfaces here and give them more volume, like this. And also dragging some of the vertex or wireframes down because of the dragging of the skin. All right. I don't know why the hair gets that. Let's go back and delete that and that too. Now, when that is done, the same process to mirror it. Select it and Control D to duplicate it. Let's name this left widen corrective shape, and it will be driven by the left ones. So the left front, which is this one, and the left widen, which is this one. With those two selected together, let's Control select the new corrective shape. We duplicate it from the other side. Let's right click on it and then set as combination target. Also, we need to flip it. So flip target. That way, when I drag it down, it's gonna fix it the same way. All right. Last thing to do is that. I guess this time I can actually combine them together. Fix them all together and then rebuild it, because I think it's really hard to figure out one part without having the other part taken care of. Sometimes that's a big issue. So let's add in a new target. Let's call this new target mouse narrow front corrective. And then let's use the sculpting tool here, and of course follow-up tab, let's change that back to surface so I can close the mouse. Let's also use the symmetry on based on the object X. Oh, follow-up tab to surface. The reason I want to do them all together and then break them up later on is because for this particular reason that you reach the middle part and you want to make sure that when they combine together they looks okay. So it's not only like one side looks okay when you mirror it, it's guaranteed to be looks okay. Alright, so that's why I think this is needed. That's probably also true when I'm doing the other part there. Anyways, so that's okay. Now let's go rebuild the target. Delete this node and that one too. And let's break this into multiple ones. Alright, and then build shapes. Unparent those two and delete that. Now this one, actually those two will be then added as new target. Okay. And then I can just use, let's see, let's zero this one out. And probably that one too. Let's grab this one. I'll grab this one and see which two it's controlling, which is this one and that one. Those two will then use the right narrow front as the combination target. Alright. That way, that one will actually be already fixed. The other side, to fix that, I need to grab the other two attributes, or the other two blend shapes, this one and that one. Those two will then use that one as the combination target. Alright, so that's fixed. Now if I combine those two together, you see the correct shape works together too. That's why I think it's necessary to build them all together and rebuild. Just make sure the blending in the between of those two is okay. That's why I think this one needs to be redo using the same way we did here. I mean, those new functionalities are cool, but some of the old school ways also have their advantages. I'm not going to redo it, but I hope you guys can redo it. Just making sure it's all okay, and more practice. And that's all I need you to do today. Make sure that you have at least all four corners here of the eyes, the mouth emotion looks okay. And make sure they are okay. And next class we will creating more blend shape to make sure that when you open the mouth, the corner also will be okay, because for now they're actually kind of stupid if you look at it. Alright, so we will work on that next class to fix more stuff, and then eventually we will have a very nice corner control, or the emotional control of the corner of the mouse. One thing I want you guys to always keep in mind is that the software always updates, so the technique I teach you today may not be, we may become outdated, So, for example, today when Dominic was talking about its add combination target, that's something I never used before. And when that happens and you know that it works for you, please keep remind me that, because I may not be able to always pay pay my attention to new stuff or new techniques. So when there is a new thing you think it's better than the ways I'm showing you, please show us your new way, because you are probably right sometimes. So the method I'm trying to teach you, sometimes it's still the thing I learned from my teacher, or things I use in the jobs I did before, but still they're not guaranteed to be like always the best way to do it. There will be always new ways. Maybe like 20 years later, Maya is not even the main software anymore, then the whole working pipeline will be different. That's one of the things always happening in our field. So I want you guys to keep in mind that everything, the technique changes all the time, so you need to always keep up to date, trying to learn new stuff, and also make sure that when you find the new stuff, always share it with other people, because it's gonna be, or always share it with your, maybe in the future with your supervisor or with anyone that is in charge, because they may not know this, and that can really contribute to the production pipeline. Anyways, that's for today's, and then next class I will try to finish the entire mouse rig, and that will mean that we finished the entire rig. The things I'm showing you here today is something like not the easiest approach. Actually, it's actually a little bit more complicated. It's probably not being used or being introduced to some of the basic rigging tutorials or classes, but they are also very valuable to there's ways that you can really get like very nice shapes on the corner of the mouse, and that's oftentimes the most important part, one of the most important part, to create a very convincing facial expression. So make sure that if you really want to creating convincing animation or decent facial expression, then this is needed. Only a little bit, if you're only trying to rely on like 2 or 3 of different expressions and try to do something out of it, it's gonna be really chunky or primitive. So this, although looks like more complicated, but it's actually one of the best way to achieve very nice deformations. So I guess that's for today. See you guys next time.